What up brothers, it's Clip King returning. Welcome back to my channel. We're doing a very special review today on the figure you see in front of you. And as you can see, it's the Damn Toys Gangsters Kingdom Diamond 4 figure. It's Milevsky by name, those who know him. I will say I've been lucky enough to pick up the standard version, which is on the right hand side, and also the hidden variant on the left hand side. So not only will I be doing the review with the full scores, I'll also be trying to make it clear what the differences are between each one, and if I think that the variants are worth searching for or the extra money that it would cost to pick you up. So I do want to make that clear. I'd also like to make a couple of other things clear. Firstly, I've got a bit of cold today, so if I do sound bunged up, that's why. I know you're normally used to me just having the ridiculous Yorkshire accent, but I am a bit bunged up as well today, so please forgive me that. Second thing I'd like to say is thank you to the 600 people that will probably end up watching this video. You do make me feel warm and fuzzy inside and let me know that I'm not completely wasting my time reviewing these Gangsters Kingdom figures. It is pretty much a labour of love because the views don't really do anything, but I know there's still people out there who do want to see them and want to hear my thoughts on them. So thank you to you guys. I do consider you the loyal fans, or should I say subscribers. I will try and make it interesting for those who are into the Damn Toys figures. If you're not, please go back to my channel and have a look for some other Hot Toys stuff. There's plenty of Iron Man stuff and Marvel stuff over there for you to keep watching. But there is also some more interesting stuff like the recent Rocky review by Johnny Chung Kinman, which I recently did. So you might not have seen that on a lot of channels, so please go back and check that out. But let's crack on and get some scores on the doors. Right, so let's start with packaging. And the first thing I think it's worth mentioning is there's absolutely no difference between the standard version and the hidden variant. So don't be looking for a golden ticket or a golden diamond mark saying this, you found the hidden one, because that is not what you'll see. You will only know with the things that it brings and also the certificate which would be inside the box. Another thing I think it's worth noting, because I think this will answer a lot of questions, when I got my standard one, which is this box, I received it, got sent day of release, and obviously I got it without it being opened. So the Damn Toys tape was unbroken, inside it were in a clear plastic bag, and then into the figure. I opened it up to find I got the standard version, which never really bothers me because it's not a massive improvement or, I don't know, massive difference at all really in the variants. I think they're just something for you to chase and something nice if you do get it, because I think it will be sought after, so you might be able to sell it for a little bit more. But other than that, I always like the standard one anyway. So I did get the standard version. This one I saw on eBay. I also know there's a version at, it's either Toy Anxiety in America or Monkey Depot. There is an hidden version of this there as well, but it goes for quite high money. So the point being is, when I received this one, it had come through eBay. The Damn Toys tape had been broke, it had been opened, there were no clear plastic bags, so obviously it had the figure open to check that it got the special version. So when these first come out, the hidden variants, and people are asking, will the eBay sellers be opening them to see what they can sell them for? Of course they will. There's no chance they're going to sit there with an hidden version in the stock room when people are looking for them. By the time these are released, or in the first few days, these will all be open and they'll know exactly what they're selling you. So be careful who you buy from if you do want a surprise and find an hidden variant, because I don't think there's going to be many surprises to have unless you buy it on release day. So that in mind, the packaging is the old school packaging, the packaging that I love. I recently reviewed the Marshall Fat Man figure, which came in the new style Damn Toys packaging. Really didn't like it. A drop in quality, a drop in the functionality of the box, the fact that they give you the diorama background. I just didn't like it. I hope they soon go back to these. Ada's due for release, which is the Spade 6, and I hope they've gone back to this packaging. If not, then I will moan about it again until they do go back to these. And the more people that do that, there's a chance they will. It's obviously a cost-cutting measure, but I would sooner pay the little bit extra and have all the boxes uniform. But I don't want to keep fucking chirping on about that. Right, so the artwork, as you see, sort of the black and grey background with the red slash marks. The Diamond 4 picture from profile. You will have noticed that it is Dolph Lundgren, pretty much representing Gunner from Expendables if you ask me. I think they've picked well. Moving down, you have the number 4 in Roman numerals. Gangsters Kingdom, we all go to hell, see you in hell, from Damn Toys. So again, nice artwork, does fit in with the theme of the others. Again, down the spine, you see you have that, and then he's pretty much got the bear tattoo on him. It fits with the story of his background. And then on the back, you've sort of got, I would say it's a bear's skull with the dagger through it. Again, in theme with his backstory. And then moving down, worth showing you, it is the number GK010 or GK10 if you like, and then nothing on that side of the box. The box is attached with magnets on both sides, so as you can see I've popped them open. You can just move that away. On the reverse of the cover, you do have this nice looking forest backdrop, which would work really nice if you chose to display them. And then inside we have the nice inlay slip with the 4 of diamonds playing card. I will move down slowly. If you want to read, you can. You're probably not going to, but I'll show it anyway because there might be some who do. So there's the backstory of the figure. Again, a nice part of the packaging that I really love. And then inside you have the 2 layers of foam packaging. Awesomely done, top quality as usual, and very easy for me to score a 5 out of 5. Also worth a mention that regardless of which version you do get the comic on the inside. I will just say at this point, because I was recently asked, if I don't mention the comic in the review, it never came with one. Every figure that has included the comic, I have pretty much flicked through for you. So, like I said, regardless if you get the standard version or the hidden variant, you are going to get this comic with it. So what I'll do now is quickly flick through the book. I'm going to try and do this a different way because I would normally do it as I'm filming, but I'm actually just going to film and pause each page if you do want to read it. So there you have it. Might have been a lot of pausing or zooming in, but I hope you got a chance to have a look at it if it is something of interest. I never know whether to include this as packaging or an extra, so I'll leave that for you to decide. It's also worth a mention, just to show, this is the certificate for the hidden limited edition. I will say that Damn Toys failed to package these when they released it, so what you have to do is you have to take a picture of the figure with a piece of paper with your name and address on it and email that to Damn Toys, and they will send you the certificate out to prove that you have got one of the variants. Another thing worth a mention, I always thought the variants were limited to 100 pieces. Not the case on this one. As you see here, it says 300 pieces, placed randomly, blah blah blah, and I've got number 122 of 300, and then it's signed. Rolling on to likeness, and as I've said before with these Gangsters Kingdom figures, it is hard to directly compare the likeness, simply because they are cartoon versions of people we would know from the world of cinema. So you pretty much got to take your guess at who you think it represents and then decide if they've done a good job of it. Now this one pretty much uncontested, it is Dolph Lundgren, pretty much from the role of Gunner in Expendables, as I said earlier, and I think they've captured it really well. It does fit the backstory as usual, and again the sculpt work and paint work is really outstanding. I do like this one actually for a couple of reasons. Normally they would have a short cropped hair or really hard sculpted hair, but this one, because it brings a scarf as well, if you see with the fringe work here, I don't know if you can see, it's a nice soft sculpt, so you could put the scarf up over his nose and tuck it behind his hair, which I will do shortly. I just want to show you that one, and then I do want to show you this one, because one of the things I want to make clear, which I didn't know about the variant, is if you look at the standard version, the eyes straightforward. See the lips curled. This is the same sculpt, but on the variant, if I look at it from front, his eyes do go down to the right hand side. So I didn't realise that until I saw it in hand. I do always check the Damn Toys website, and I'm sure they never even mention that. So there is subtle things on the variants that they don't even advertise, but when you get them, if you look closely, you will see that there is a lot more differences than they tell you there is. So that were worth saying. I will also make a point of looking at the paintwork through the air. You see the long section is a nice sort of golden blonde, and then the shaved bits at the back and sort of just over the ear are darker. So again, although it is very cartoony, the work is still there. So I do like that about it. It's not like, oh, we're crude, so it don't matter the quality we do. It is always top quality, but always fits the theme. So yeah, just thought it'd be worthwhile showing you that. Again, I do like the subtle difference with the eyes, because obviously I can display both, and just by doing certain things like his pouches on this side, his knife on here, on this one I can do it reverse, and so on and so forth. One I could put the scarf up, the one down, so you're still getting the two same figures basically, but you can display them very differently. And I noticed that with the other two variants I've got as well, but I will show them in other videos. So the likeness, to give it a score, again, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. A lot of you guys who don't collect these will look and think, why does he always do that? He's totally biased when it comes to these. It's just a style I love, and there's nothing I can ever find wrong with it to say I've got to mark this one down. So that's basically why I do it. Rolling on to the outfit. I am going to show you both figures because I want to show you what the outfit is completely made up of, tell you about any restrictions it causes, the styling and everything, the materials used. But then also I'm going to come back, and here I'm going to point out quite a lot of differences that you get with the hidden variant. So this might take a while. So first things first, if we move to the standard version, I will say, as you see, it's pretty much biker themed. So we start off with the solid sculpted boot, which is the biker styling. The detail, the paintwork is stunning. I always say this, they are cartoony looking figures, but everything is so well done. The detail, the materials used, there's never no expense spared. That is how it always seems to me. And the more people that find these videos, even if they're finding them through me, they always come back to me and say, you were spot on about the outfit and the quality and the extras and everything. That is the points they pick up on most. So as you can see, if that appeared on an Hot Toys figure, we'd be buzzing about it. This is on a figure that's round about half the price of an Hot Toys figure, but there's still no quality loss. See the sort of the paint around the back of the heel, the stud work, the buckle work, the zip, and then the differences between the patterned leather and then the tumbled leather. Really well done. Both figures have the same boots. Moving up to the jeans, they are the Balmain type biker jeans, as you can see, with the stitch work across there. The knee padded section, it's sort of the patchwork biker design jean. Very fashionable actually at the minute. Got a couple of pairs myself, and I don't have to tell you that twice. You'd probably know before I even told you. But they are really nice and do look good with some decent trainers and all. But this guy's rocking them with some boots. Again, both standard version and variant have the same jeans. Moving up, I will say he has a faux leather belt, which then has his like cylinder clip on one side and his knife on the other. You can put it wherever you choose to, and then you see the detail around the belt. One thing I want to point out here is on the standard version he has the silver belt buckle, as you see there, and then on the variant he does have the gold belt buckle. Another thing worth pointing out is you see the sort of the detail work kind of here. It sort of doesn't start as soon on this version, although it does have it. So that is a slight difference. Another thing worth pointing out, and I will come back to this on the extras, they both have the same bag, but I've put one on one side, one on the other. The knife, as it comes round, it has the same sort of snake skin holster, but this one has a black handle, where this one, if you look, has a brown handle with sort of the gold coloured hilt there, where this one is a black handle with a silver hilt. So that is one of the variants as well. If you look at the back, it has this sort of the skeletal padded section, which is all separate pieces moving up. As it comes round, you see it does have the padding section on both sides of the chest and then all the way down the arm. It does hinder the articulation a little bit, but it does look really nice. See, this one has the brown leather shoulder harness, which holds his pistol under his left arm, and then 2 clips under his right. One thing I do want to point out, and then you see obviously his scarf's tied there. The nice work down the back looks really good. Then one thing I want to point out here, as he comes round, the padded section on the standard version, very nice and clean. There is still sort of scrape work and some weathering, but this is another one of the differences with the variant. If you look sort of there, if you move down to the variant, it has sort of the blood spatter on his padding. So if you look there and under there, all the way down, and it follows. If you see here, you have the blood spatter moving down, and even onto his gloves. The variant also brings a couple of spare extra hands, so I will show you those when I get to the extras. But you see the blood on the fist, where this version doesn't have it. Nice clean gloves on this one, clean pad work. So yeah, one of the biggest differences you'll probably notice is the scarf. The standard version has sort of the desert colours, let's say, and it has the red and green check work, where this one has gone for the skull motif. Moving down, it's all black with the grey skull and then the grey artwork around here. As I was saying before, you can sort of pull the scarf up so only his eyes are showing, which gives it that skull appearance. That is fastened at the back. Like I said, then you can just drape these where you choose. Another good thing about this is inside the scarf, sort of around here, it is wired, so you can pull it as tight as you want, nip the wires together, and it will hold nice and flush to his face. So again, really nice touch, and that the wiring is on both versions. If I was asked, I would prefer the variant because of that. I just think that the skull sort of gives a Punisher feel to it. So I do like that design. And like I said, the blood spatter on the padding is a nice touch as well. But either version you get, it is a really nice outfit. Again, the glove work, or the sculpted glove, is really nice on either. Just looks nice all around. I will also mention, it does come wearing sort of this, it's Velcro fastened. It's like a weightlifter style belt. So it does fasten, and as you see it right back, it does attach to sort of the bottom of his padded section. Really nicely done. The straps that hold the pads on, they are pretty much fixed, so you could remove the straps if you wanted, but it does hold in place really nice, and it is sort of the Kevlar looking layer on layer design. So it does look pretty badass and something a bit different to all the others. Do really like that. Sometimes his harnesses are a little bit fiddly to get on. Same with taking this belt off and then feeding it through there, and also through there to hold it in place. But once it's on, it's done, and it does look amazing. I think you'd agree. So like I said, either version is really good, and there's the subtle differences to make you want both. But if you were to sort of unbox either, I don't think you're going to be pissed off. I think you're going to be happy either way. So on the outfit, I am going to give both figures a 5 out of 5, and that's pretty easy. Moving on to the articulation, or the body in general. As you can see, I've got 2 different poses to pretty much try and show you the limitations of the body. Now, I will say the body is a perfect Damn Toys body. Slightly bigger scale than the standard would be. But because of the outfit design and the boots and the pad work, there is sort of limitations on what it will do. And this is pretty much the first one other than the Four of Spades where the jacket was very limiting. This is the first one where the articulation or lack of stands out a little bit. The other ones will pretty much move the clothes around. This is good, but it's not outstanding like the others are. So we'll look at the hidden variant first. As you can see, what I've gone for here with the pose is I've gone to try and get his elbows as tight as they will go and still hold the pose. So bearing in mind he has got pad work all up here and straps, he will still hold a nice tight curl in his elbow. He will bring a two-handed weapon up nice and high and natural looking. So there, the shoulder work where they would normally move quite freely, up, down, forward and back. This is limited a little bit because of the thickness of the suits or in this section. Same here, and obviously he's got the straps over there as well. The head's only articulation is on a lower ball joint, so the bottom of the neck. It does pose quite natural, but obviously it's not as articulated as a figure that has an upper ball joint as well. There is crunch, an ab crunch, although because again the outfit is so tight, and then the sort of the muscle belt and the build up of the padding, the crunch is hard to get on this. I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm just saying it's hard to do it. Moving down through the legs, the main limitation is trying to get a split in the legs, simply because of the design of the denim. Now I will say the denim's nicely done because it is a more stretchy material in here, and then it goes to sort of the denim feel there and in there. So it is awesome work, to be honest. They have tried to get it, but because you don't want to bust your stitches, that's pretty much as wide as he's going to go. Moving down, you see the pad work around the knees. Doesn't really hinder the articulation, which I will show on the other figure. But what definitely does hinder the articulation is the lack of pivot through the ankle. It will rotate on the ball joint, but obviously you're never going to get a flat boot because the sculpt is so hard. So on that, you pretty much got the limitations showing. I will say the hands swap on and off nicely. They do all come with their own wrist peg and do slide in and hold really nicely. So I think that's pretty good, but not amazing. This one, again looking, I've tried to show you how high up the shoulders will go, or the arm will go on the shoulder, which is pretty much that. You could possibly go a couple of mil higher, and then I've opened that side as well to sort of hold himself. I've tried to get a bit of ab crunch, which isn't a lot as you can see, but you can see there that the knee will do a double bend and go really nice and tight underneath him. But again, with the because it won't do massive splits, I can still put the leg out, but the foot won't turn and go flat on the floor. So again, I suppose it looks pretty dynamic and it does look pretty in theme to him, but I'm really showing you how far the figure goes. Same with this one on the upper body, just to show you get an idea of what it will do but what it won't do. Now again, I do try to score these fairly, and because it does have limitations more so than a lot of the other ones, I can only give the articulation a 3 out of 5. And I will say again, that's not dependent on which one you get, the standard or the hidden. It's going to be the same outfit on the same body, so you're going to get only a 3 out of 5 for your articulation. Right, so moving on to extras, and again, here's where you see a couple of differences depending on the version you get. But before we get down there, again, I'll just pass down the figure. You see the scarves are different, and I've set them up, tightened that one right up on the left. The one on the right sort of pulled it across to the side so you can see the tie hanging over his shoulder, just to show you can get different designs if you did have both. Again, with the just point out there is more black on the snake skin on the variant as well. I didn't notice that this one is slightly different coloured. This one is more greens and browns. I hope the camera picks it up. That one has some red and some black going through it. I don't know if that's just a different part of material, or is that if that is supposed to be different. Again, the gold belt buckles are different, and the silver one. And moving down, the jeans and boots are the same. Neither figure comes with a stand, which I really think they should come with. Just a plain black stand like that, so he can put his own decals on. I don't think it'll break the bank, and most of these figures need them because of the design of the boots. A lot of them go for cowboy boots, that sort of thing, or like winkle picker style shoes, and they're hard to stand up without a base. So if Damn Toys could throw a normal base in, that'd be good. Now moving down, we'll look at the standard version extra first. Right, things we notice. He only has 2 spare hands, so he would have, I'll show you all his hands. He's sort of got an open hand on the left, which would sort of cradle the rifle, and then a trigger right. Same with this guy, a cradle in left and a trigger right. And then the standard version has sort of a knife holding right and a trigger left. If we look at him, again, please note, clean gloves, no blood on him. So you could have him holding both his guns at the same time. This one would be for the knife. Talking about the knife, really well done again. You see, it's the black handle with the blood marks on the blade. Really nice accessories. Anybody who has these figures will vouch for that. They always put a lot of quality into them. So I do like that. The standard version does bring the all silver, or is it nickel plated? I'm not sure. Or to be honest, it's not like a nickel. It doesn't shine. It's more like a brushed silver pistol, which is really nice. Again, the clip is removable and it will cock. Push that forward. The hammer works, as you see. It does have the white grip with a red kind of Russian star on it. Really nice piece. So I do like that. And then his rifle is awesome, to be honest. One of the best weapons that's come with this series so far, because it does so much. They do include the sort of the drum, the bullets in the drum style clip, and also the extended mag. So that just swaps in and out. You just sort of push that out, and then you would just put the mag into there. You notice that the stock does just swing around. There you go. And also the tripod, if you open it, does have a spring at the front, as we can see. Really nice. Closes back together. It has a little catch at the front. Try this left-handed. The catch holds it closed, as you see. That's on a tiny hinge, and then it does fold up and click into place under the gun. Really nicely done. So I'll show you that. Really nice piece. So that is the extras on the standard version. The special version pretty much brings the same stuff apart from 2 extra hands. And I will say the hands, as you can see, all have the blood spatter on the back of the hand. So if you see here, just trying to get in focus. So again, you have a trigger right and left. You would have, this is actually a closed fist, which is very, whoa, dropped it, which is very rare for the Gangsters Kingdom. You have the knife holding right, again with the blood marks on the back, and then the knife holding left. So a couple of extra hands on that. This gun is the same gun, obviously. See, I have got the extended mag in this one with a stock folded under. Again, you do have the drum clip. Then again, you get the knife. I'll show you. The standard version brings the black handle. The special version brings the brown and gold. This one's black and silver. And then you also get the pistol. This time it's in black and gold. The clip works. It will cock. If I push that forward, a bit stiff that one. And then again, the hammer does work. Really well painted. So it's the wooden handle with the black gun with the gold highlights. You see on the grip, sort of the hammer and sickle, Russian emblem. That's on both sides. So if I were to compare the 2 pistols, like I said, the variant brings that, the standard one brings that. So, nice selection. What I will say, like I always say, the stuff it brings is second to none. Definitely up there with Hot Toys standard for half the price. I always say the same thing. Obviously, you're not getting much more extras with the hidden variant, only really the hands, but there is enough of a variance in the colours and that it is worthwhile sort of tracking one down. The lack of the base, and I've got to be honest, with this one, they would normally bring a bag or something like that, or sometimes an hat and different stuff. This one don't really bring a bag, it just brings the sort of, the little bum bag style thing, which will hold the drum clip. So that could go into there, although it is padded if you choose not to use that. It just seems to be lacking something, and I don't know what, like another major extra. If you think of the other figures, like I said, some had the big bags or the sniper rifle or the poncho on some, and baseball bats and oil drums and this and other. This just seems to be lacking one more big accessory. But like I said, what you get is really good standard. So I am going to give the extras a 4 out of 5. I'm going to roll straight on and talk about the value. Now, most of these figures you can get them on release for about £100, sometimes going up to about 110, depending where you get it from. That for me is an awesome price. I wouldn't want to pay a lot more, because sort of the charm of the figures is you're getting awesome work with a cartoony style for a lot less than Hot Toys ship for nowadays. So I do like that about it. There is a couple that I make allowances for if they're a little bit more costly, and I'm thinking the is it the Rallop one that's coming soon, which kind of looks like Wolverine. He brings a sort of sculpted wolf as well. And then the Billie that's coming soon that brings the executioner's chair and the parts to make up a second figure. I will allow them being a little bit more expensive. Now, saying that, I'm going to score it on the standard version and tell you at £100, I'm always going to give them a 5 out of 5 for value. So that's what this figure's going to get. If you look at and you get the variant, then you've got a choice. You can either sell it, try and make a little bit of money, and then buy it in a standard version. Or you can look at and keep it and you've got a limited one. So they're your choices. Now, where the value falls down for these damn toys for me is when they release the exclusives, or sometimes the memories version, or these Toy Fair, the Toy Fair exclusives, or whatever they are, whatever they want to call them. Because what happens is the figure still gets released at same price, but the opportunistic sellers jump all over them. They're opening the variant, so it seems, and then advertising that it is a variant you're buying. Then they want to bump. I paid $135 for this. This is the variant of that. I think I paid Chip $140 for that, and I think I paid Dalins $130 for that. Now, I'm going to be honest and say that is as much as I would want to go to, because they're not that different from the standard version. So if somebody says to me, you can have a standard version for £100, or you can have the special edition for $135, $145, which would you pick? I think I would probably go for the standard version, because there's not that much of a difference, like I said. Although I suppose your choice is there. If you know you are getting a variant, is it worth that £30 or £40 more? Maybe so. But when people want to start charging 170, 180, 200, 220 quid for the variant, or for an exclusive figure, then I think fuck off, because you're going totally against what I love about this line, the fact that the lower price figures for awesome standards. So I just wanted to make that clear. But coming back to what I said, I am scoring the standard version here, and I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. So to sum up, the figure has got a total of 27 out of a possible 30, which again is a top score. I do love this line. I am pretty much a Pokemon collector when it comes to the Gangsters Kingdom, and by that I mean I've got to catch them all. I will probably carry on collecting all these pieces. The downside to me is I've pretty much been collecting as a YouTube reviewer for probably 2 years now, and by that I mean I'm looking at figures that I know is going to get me good views. So the juxtaposition with these figures is I love collecting them, but no fucker wants to see me review them. So it's a pisser. I've got to carry on reviewing Iron Man and Marvel and this, that and other to keep my channel afloat while I'm really collecting these because I love them. And that, I don't know, it's a little bit of a pisser, but I don't know. But I will self-back of that. Whenever I do post on Facebook, or people will send me enough questions saying, when's your next video? Are you doing Kylo Ren? Are you doing the new Terminator figure? Are you doing that? Are you doing this? Then I've pretty much got to rely on guys to either lend them me, or in some cases, some of the UK sellers sending me stuff up to do. And then I'm grateful to them. Sometimes I've got to send it back and then pay like £15, £20. In the case of Rocky, £27 to ship it back, which then again, I appreciate being able to see it and review it, but I'm basically paying Parcel Force to take somebody's figure back. So again, it's money spent. And I'll be honest, last month and the month before, in fact, pretty much since before Christmas, my AdSense has made about £30 a month, which they don't even pay you out. What they do is they hold on to it until you've cleared about 65 quid, and then they get you. So people who think that I'm up there with fucking this person and that person, and I'm not at all. That's the honest truth for it. And when you send me questions, will you do this, will you do that, and can you review this? The honest truth is, boys, my channel is pretty much on its arse as much as it's been for ages. I can't pass fucking 10,000 subs for life of me. I've been trying to get up there for about 3 months, and when my subscribers per day is down to about 3 or 4 per day, I don't seem to be reaching it, which I don't know why I've picked this video to fucking rant on, but it's just what it is. Some things I put on that you're going to want to watch, some don't, but like I say, it is gutting when you spend time making a video when people have asked and then it don't get watched, and then I think I could just put a fucking Iron Man video up, tell you how much I fucking hate it, and I get a shitload of views, and I think, fucking shit this, I'm constantly getting fucking poorer because I'm spending on figures or sending people the figures back, and it's not going into my fucking savings account, which pretty much is this fucking collection as it stands. And the other thing about it is, every time I say, oh, I want to fucking sell this, I want to sell that, then I've got to answer 1,500 questions about why do you want to sell your fucking, why do you want to sell that, or why do you want to sell Bane, or why do you want to sell this, that and other. And I think, I want to sell it because I can't afford to buy no else to fucking show you. So that's the honest truth. Other than that, it's do fucking, I don't know, sell me soul to the devil and get a fucking Patreon account, which people keep telling me to do, and I don't want to fucking beg. But at the end of the day, I can't afford to keep this fucking channel afloat, and that's honest truth for it. Every time my lass asks me for a new settee or some new fucking wallpaper, I have to fucking put her on so I can buy something else. But beside the point, anyway. Fucking, where do I fucking go from there? Do I edit that out or do I leave it in? Fuck it, I'm leaving it in. The figure got 27 out of a possible 30. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you don't watch it, fuck you. If you do, thanks a lot for your loyal support. This is a Clipper King and I'm out of here.